Christine here with another cute, quick, and simple card I made using my Cricut. It's kind of a mishmash on my desk because it's not together yet, and I kind of want it to be a little bit of a surprise. I used my Cricut cartridge Elegant Edges and this really cute mouse image from Whippersnapper's Designs. So let's get started. I started out with cardstock. It's just craft cardstock color, or I think from Stampin' Up! The equivalent is crumb cake. But this is a Recollections brand. I cut it down from an 8.5 by 11 sheet at 5.5 inches, and I folded it in half to get a standard A2 size card. My liner is already on the inside and ready to go, and I'll show you that at the end. So all my paper today comes from the World Traveler 6x6 designer paper pack. I think it's Teresa Collins. It's really, really pretty. I don't typically use these colors, but I picked it up on sale and I thought I could find something to do, and this is what I came up with. Okay, so in that paper pack is a solid black color, and I'm using that as the base of my background, and I cut it at 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to use my ATG gun real quick and put that down. Okay, so that just goes right in the center of the card. Then I found another pretty paper. I like this red, and all of the images I took a sponge and did some distressing. I used Tim Holtz Vintage Photo so that all of the white edges that typically would be visible actually have color to them, so it makes the card look a little sharper, and then you don't see the whiteness of the paper. So this layer is cut 1/4 inch shorter, so it is 3 3/4 by 5, and that's going to go straight in the middle of the black, just right about here. Okay, then I went to my Cricut and right over here, I went to page 43 of Elegant Edges, and I cut out this oblong shape, and I had the shift button on. So I used a solid red first. So I used the shadow button at 4.5 inches. And then I found this really, really pretty paper with postcards designed on it, and it's cut at 4.5 inches using the shift button under oblong. So that's the basic shape and focal point that I wanted to bring to light using my Cricut. So I am just going to adhere that down as well. And I don't know if you can see it, but there is a green stripe right here. This is just cut at 1/2 inch, and I just added it to add a little bit of color and break up the postcard pattern. So this fits really, really nicely right in the center, tip to tip paper. See, tip to tip, and it still shows the pretty red background behind it. Okay, and then pretty much from there, I'm just adding some details. So I have these squares, and I had this really, really pretty black ribbon that I had picked up in Montreal, and I love how it kind of flares. And I didn't have very much, probably less than a foot. So I had enough to do this I Miss You and here, and that's about it. So I just took a black square. You can cut it using Elegant Edges or a cutting blade, and it is 2 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and this one is, actually that's the small one, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then the bigger one is by 3. I just added some black pearls to the corner, and I'm just going to adhere that down. And actually I have a pearl on my fingers. And that just goes right in the center. And I'm going to use some more adhesive and put that in the center towards the left of the image I have already put down, just like so. Okay, so this cute little mouse comes from Whippersnapper Designs, as I said. I'll show you the block. It's very, very rough. When I started stamping, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years ago, I didn't realize that all stamps need to be mounted with the sponge in between. And these are my very first purchase of stamps, this cute little mouse, and I have a really cute worm on a fishing line and a cow, and I think you saw my teddy bear with the ice cream cone a little while ago. So I just asked my husband to just give me some wooden blocks, and I just glued them down. And I probably should add the foam in the middle, but it's very well worn, as you can see. I have been playing with it a lot, but it still prints really, really cute and very crisp lines, so I'm still able to use it. So I just put it on this circle scalloped. It's cut at 2 3/8 with, you can use elegant edges or you can use a circle scallop punch. In this particular case, I used my Stampin' Up! Punch. And I colored everything with Copic markers. And then I just added these black little gems onto the center of the red flowers. And then I just took a sponge and I distressed the image so it wasn't a solid white anymore, because a lot of these colors don't, you know, they're kind of antique-y or vintage, and so I didn't want a bright white. So I raised it on some pop dots, and I'm just going to put that in the center of the green piece I've already put down. Just like so. I think he's so cute. And then I just have some flowers. They're just small Prima flowers. I put some black pearls, and I probably should be using some other adhesive, maybe like my glossy accents, to put them on. But I'm going to try without it, because right now I'm not 100% sure where I put my little glue dots. So I'm just going to use two-way adhesive, okay, and just flatten them down and then add them right there. And then I have this cute I Miss You. So what I did is I took a 1-inch circle, and then I added all of this ribbon all the way around it by puckering it all the way around. And then I stamped I Miss You, and I did the same thing by distressing it using vintage photo. And then I just raised it on pop dots, and I'm going to add it right in the corner, just right about here on an angle. And that completes my card. I have been thinking about adding a little bit of glitter, so I might add some liquid pearl or some stickles all the way around, and maybe on its nose, and maybe in the I Miss You. So as I open the card up, this is my liner. I used the image from Elegant Edges again. I cut it at 4 3/4. I just put a liner from the same paper pack, and then I just had some flat flowers that I had. I've had them a long time. Just distress them to give it the same look as all the rest. And I have enough room to put in either another sentiment or some writing. And that's pretty much my card for today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.